Okay, moment of truth. Today is the install day for the Killer Bee oil control valve. This part finally came in, last piece of the puzzle. It's a -10 AN to twist lock or push lock hose end. Part number 624033, and we'll go over some of the other parts. So it does not come with fittings, just this one right here. However, this is a -12 AN or 3/4 inner diameter hose type of deal. The threads are M22. This is 3/8 NPT, National Pipe Thread. So being that it's a -12, I don't carry much -12 lines or hose ends or fittings for that matter. So I'm going to convert this to a -10 smaller. It's 5/8. So 5/8 is smaller than 3/4 if you guys know your fractions, right? 5/8 is about 10/16. -12 is about, shit man, I'm shitty with math, 12/16. But anyway, this is a set rab fitting, M22 to -10 male, so we're gonna plug it right here. It's an O-ring boss fitting also, so you're gonna put some lube on there, but for the sake of testing here, we're just gonna throw it here for display. So first off, where should we start? Coming out of here, we're going to use either a 120-degree -10 hose end to a push lock or twist lock. This is from Summit Racing. If you guys also don't know, Radium also supplies these type of fittings if you choose to for a good price. And either that 120-degree or this 90-degree, and I already attached this hose, which is from Aeroquip. Now Killer Bee also supplies these type of hoses with their AOS kit, so I figure I just match everything and get some myself. I'll also be using some -8 stuff for the left and right banks. So if you look here, 3/8 NPTs, and if you were to look at Killer Bee's left and right bank lines or hoses, they are -8 or 1/2 inch in diameter. So with that said, I'll be using these 3/8 NPT to -8 male unions or adapters. They'll screw right in there. Of course, you're going to put Teflon on those threads. And remember, do not put Teflon tape or any kind of material on flared ends. It seals by the flare on the male and female side, so never ever put thread sealant or any kind of tape on there. Alright, although there are some dumbasses out there that will do it. But yeah, so anyway, we also have one on this side, same thing. And because we're going to orient it somewhere in the middle between the left and right, actually right in the middle of where your pitch stop is, we're going to have left and right hoses coming in and out of the valve covers. So we're going to position this. These two are 90-degree -8 hose ends, female to push lock or twist lock, whichever brand you were to buy from. They have their own names. So we're going to go like this. Okay, so like I said, these are going to be coming from your valve covers or your heads. Alright, so oil, remember, oil is going to slosh up or surge up, and as you go left or right, for instance this way, oop, there went the fitting. If it's going to go this way, it's going to block, the ball's going to block whatever oil that goes into the tunnel and up the ramp. And then the other side, being that the ball's on this side, it's going to allow everything else to breathe up. So forward or back, G's aren't going to affect it, except lateral G's. Okay, moving on. So we got that. And since Killer Bee's AOS has 2 inlet ports for the heads, as you can see right here, we've got 2 lines, and here's where the oil control valve is going to be positioned. So we're going to have to split those 2 lines into one going towards the oil control valve, or one big line to 2 of those to split into the AOS, and you'll find out. Alright, so with that brief explanation, here's the oil control valve. It's going to go out towards the AOS, and it's going to split right here. This hose end is going to go somewhere here. We're gonna cut it to length, okay, and it's gonna split with this parallel Y fitting. Okay, I got this somewhere in Amazon. I don't know what the name is, but it's anodized aluminum and it's GIC spec, so I'm gonna use that. Then it's gonna split into two smaller hoses, so it's -8s again, and these -8s are gonna go towards the AOS, and that's how the lines are gonna go from the OCV to the air oil separator. Here's the original hardware and bracket for the oil control valve. And being mindful that this is for a 2008 to 2014 bracket, so we don't need it. I already made my own, and it's aluminum. It's made of aluminum bar and wrinkle blacked out. So this is gonna mount where the AC line is, right above the pitch stop. And these are M6 bolts, and I think that's it. You might need some kind of 10mm tool. I got this ratchety combo wrench, adjustable wrench, and then you got these non-marring type wrenches for the fittings. I got a -8 and -10, so you won't mess up your beautiful hose ends here. Got this hose cutter, Teflon tape for the NPT threads, and some grease for building some lines. Alright, first thing we want to do is build this guy up, because we're going to be running out of space once we get this thing mounted up. So we're going to put this 10 AN M22 fitting. We're going to lube it up real quick. Make sure the O-ring is never dry when you install these kind of things. Just like that. And because I don't have a non-marring wrench for this type of fitting, I'm going to use my adjustable. I'm just going to go very careful. I think these guys stop when they're fully tightened. You don't want to go too far, and also you don't want to go too loose. I think that's good right about there. Okay, so that's that. Next thing would be these NPT fittings to male -8 AN unions. Alright, so make sure we're putting it the right direction. Couple passes is good enough, and leave some threads open at the beginning part. Okay, and we're set. Let's not forget the bracket while we're here. So we're gonna place it right on top. And it doesn't matter, there's no correct orientation. They both mirror each side, so you can install them either way. And we're gonna put these M6 bolts or screws in. And I forgot to tell you that you need an M6 Allen wrench or any kind of driver to tighten these down. Okay, I think we're done, and this can go in. Alright, here in the engine bay, so you see this valve cover hose right there. It's going to go all the way, snake towards the center, under the AC line mount here, right through the pitch stop. Ow! And then go through the top port of the AOS. The bottom one comes from the passenger side, which is shorter, down there. It's got the little cover on it. So we are going to splice it somewhere around right here. So there's going to be extra length here that we can just cut off, because the oil control valve is going to be mounted right here where that 10mm bolt is. So let's get to that. So I'm going to loosen you. Hopefully there's no nut back there. Please don't fall. Oof. You ever drop something on an EJ engine and never find it? Yeah, this guy did it. Alright, let's snake this guy right through and test fit the valve. Oh, it's going to be hard to get in there. Alright, I see you. I'll mount you. Alright, we're going to need a different tool. I'm going to need a ratchet and extension setup with a socket. Be right back. Okay, she's in. Alright, let's start with the driver's side first. I'm going to mock up the 90-degree fitting here. I think now that I've looked at it, I should have bought some straight hose end lines besides these 90 degrees, but you know, that's all I got. It is what it is. I do have a straight that I might use on the other side, only because you'll see. Anyway, so here's the hose that's going towards the AOS. I'm going to cut enough to where the hose can bend towards that hose. So I'm going to have to eyeball it and give it a shot. Measure twice, cut once. Looks like it might be good. Alright. Without kinking, you have to reroute it. That's not so bad. I could deal with that. Alright, now that we've cut this line, we're gonna have to put this fitting on top. And all you gotta do is put some grease on here and push, curse, I can kick the dog, something, just to get it in there.
20 minutes later.
Alright, so I finally got it on. Holy shit, I had to take this hose off the engine, put on the vise, and push the fuck out of it.
2 hours later.
Okay, so I'm running out of light. AOS is out. I had to remove the lines here, cut them, build these two hose ends on the vise. I had to do one of these things because it was hard to even put it in there with it mounted on the firewall or on the strut tower. So this is going on. These two are going to go right there, plop right in there, and then if I move this out of the way, I'll screw those on like this. This is going towards the OCV, the oil control valve. Progress, but I had to do it off camera because it's a bitch to build these lines. I mean, you're thinking just pushing these on is easy. You know, wait till you actually build fittings. But you know, I like this better because I can visually see that, you know, if it's backing off or what. But it shouldn't, because it's made to stick on and not come off. It'll get done. I might be showing you the progress tomorrow, or the actual finished product tomorrow. I apologize, it's getting dark and I need to be somewhere, so keep you guys updated.
The next day.
Alright, so 16 hours later. Took me about 4 hours to do. So here it is, already installed. And like I said, I apologize for not filming everything as far as doing a DIY or some kind of tutorial on how to install stuff. It does take a lot of time and effort. And let's go with the routing. So first off is the valve cover hose right there. It's gonna go all the way around, so I had to cut that and extend the rest towards the passenger side. The driver's side, of course, here we go, and we got a nice unique bend here, and it kind of chafes on the top mount, the old top mount bracket, which is now the front mount bracket. And I got like a little hose there cut longitudinally, and then use this as a sheath just to block it. Of course I Gorilla Glued it just to keep it in place. Then a 90 degrees up to another 90 degree. So I did this here because of the sharp bend. If I've done it on this side, it would have like hovered over the turbo, which I didn't like, so I put it straight on that. And then we have the oil control valve itself, and it's on a 90-degree hose end, turning down right there into this splitter here, which is the most cleanest I think ever of all these installs on oil control valves. So dash 10 splitting to a parallel dash 8 into the air oil separator, and it just works so perfectly. And then into the AOS, meeting the crankcase line going in, and then coming out of that dash 10 or 5/8 hose into this radium catch can to scrub the leftover oil vapors that can accumulate in the intake, which I found that, you know, that the AOS bypass. So this is it. So I've driven it around. Make sure all your fittings are nice and tight, because the return hose is still a closed system with the MAF. So any loose fitting can cause a vacuum leak and cause the MAF and the oxygen sensor to read different things. Of course, screw up your tune and stuff. It's a pretty easy mod to do if you weren't using these kinds of fittings. But if you choose to get this, I mean, you can still use clamps and hose clamps. It'll still get the job done, but I wanted something neater and cleaner and easier to get out in and out of, you know. So that's it. If you guys like what you see, like and subscribe. See you guys later.